Hey, Ellie. Welcome. Oh, you were right there, huh? How's it going? All right. It is Saturday, and welcome to the weekly paint gazing session. I'm very excited to create a new painting. Oh, really? I decided at the last minute that I needed to go make a fresh cup of coffee. It's going well. Yeah. I didn't have to shovel or do any snow blowing today, and I'm happy about that. And I'm hoping for everybody on the east that it passes over quickly. It's kind of having an easy day. Well, here's a look at last week's milk and cookie. It'll be interesting to see what comes up. I'm just now noticing that looks like a fish jumping out of the water. You see that? Oh, that's nice. The plow truck is awfully helpful in the snow. Okie dokie. Thank you for sending likes. So here's how it's gonna go. Let me turn off my heater so I can hear myself. So for the weekly reading, what I usually do first is do the giveaway of last week's painting. So I'm gonna draw the winner. And I just thank you so much to everyone who has joined me over on Ko-fi. So that's what I'm going to do right now is turn this a little bit so we can look at the wheel of names. See if I can get it to stay though. Stay. All right, so we're going to do this painting. Oh yeah, totally. I'll send you a picture of it. I was going to put it in the mail to you too soon, as soon as I can, but yeah, I'll send a picture, take a picture and send it. I can't wait to see what you do, because yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so you're up there. So if anybody's watching and you're wondering how to get on the wheel of names, just you can go to any of my sites, lindafabry.com, paintgazing.com, Artsy Apothecary, and there will be a link to Ko-fi. You can go directly to Ko-fi at ko-fi.com/LindaFabry. And it's only $1 a month to get on the wheel, and you get entered into the drawing every single week automatically. I know it's getting bigger. So thank you so much, because the more supporters that I have through Ko-fi, the more I can depend on that monthly income, the more I can do in terms of art support groups and different things in the community and online. So thank you so much. All right, so let's see who gets this painting from last week. Signed original 4x6 is what that is. And I'm just gonna give it a click. Ready, set. Angela, congratulations! Yay! Woohoo! Congratulations, Angela, and thank you again to everyone, all members. So that will go out to Angela, and we're gonna start a new one. Let me get this lined up so I can see your comments really well. Perfect. They are fun. What would we do without emojis, right? Hey, Wicked Witch, how you doing? How's the weather out there? Doing okay? Hopefully you're stocked up on, what'd you say before? Bread, milk and bread. So here are my little, I got a little, that's why I was a couple minutes late, because I got a little bit crafty with my signage. So I didn't have to keep saying it, you know? Like, it's 50% off for Ko-fi supporters, and then you can win this original. So this one will be up for grabs for members. I don't know, we'll stick this up there and I'll remember to, there, we'll just go All right. Wait. French toast for days, right? That's awesome. Milk, bread, and eggs. That's what it was. All right. So, shall we pick some colors for this one? That sounds delicious. So go ahead and pick a number between 1 and 36, one number per person, and all of those colors together will be used for the background. And as always, the intention for this painting is to get some insights for the week ahead for anybody who needs them. All right, 14 and 22. I'm just going to put that 2 in there for you, Ellie, because I know that's coming up. Hey, Mary. 7. All right. Nice earthy brown. Can you see him? That's a nice green, isn't it? Parakeet. Parakeet. Kitty cat doll, haven't seen you in a while. Thank you, 15. I hope everyone is well. I'm gonna look at another, let's see. I think I want more of like a hang drum kind of sound. Let's see.
I'm not gonna.
What paint brand do I recommend? I think like whatever you can get your hands on. I like Apple Barrel for what I do. But yeah, it just depends on what you want to do. I don't really have a like a recommendation that I think everyone should use. Whatever's accessible and affordable. As long as, you know, if it allows you to make art, it's the perfect brand. I mean, I do kind of like that they're made in America because that's where I live, but whatever. I mean, aside from that, I like the not the texture. What do I want to say? It's not too thick. It's not too thin. You know, it's kind of the Goldilocks porridge for me. All right. So if anybody else wants to add a color in, you can pick a number between 1 and 36. I was thinking like the fluidity. Is that even a word? Consistency. Yes. Thank you. That's an odd word. I love words that, yeah, the consistency, yeah, but it's also consistency can mean interesting. Okay. I just had a little conversation in my head. I'm okay. All right, let me get my stuff ready. So just as a reminder, if you're a member of my Ko-fi community, if you're a supporter there. Everything in the shop right now during the live is 50% off. That means readings, which are usually $222 or $111. And in that shop you'll find painted pendants and original paintings and a lot of the mandala paintings that I do on Mandala Monday. So those are all 50% off for that. Oh yeah, please add another color. Yeah, I'm waiting. I think there'll be people. So if you're just tuning in and you'd like to pick a color, just pick a number between 1 and 36. Oh, I put that 2 in there for you, Allie, because I figured you were gonna pick it. I just assumed. Whoa. Yeah, I'm psychic, see? It's not a hard pattern to pick up on. My plastic. So nobody else wants to pick a color, huh? All right, that's cool. We can go with these. And if any latecomers come in, you can pick a color before I put the plastic on. That's so funny because I'm looking at the blue and I really want to pick it, but I'm going to stick with my kind of little limitations that I like to work within. No, I like to let I pick the image that gets painted, so let's start with this one. So yeah, if you're just tuning in and you want to pick a color, just pick a number between 1 and 36. I can add it in here. Chocolate. Hey Mary, I was thinking about you the other day. Do you still make shampoo bars? So I really want a shampoo bar. And do you sell them online? That's the other question. Lime green. Or no, this was, what was this called? Parakeet. Got a parakeets. A hamstring. Oh my gosh, look at those little eyes right there. That's so cute. Yeah. Oh, red is totally your color, isn't it? Yeah. All right, last call if anybody wants to pick another color. Otherwise, these are the... Am I missing some comments? Shampoo bars I meant, because I didn't see anything else from you before that. Huh. That's weird. Hold on one second. What did I do? You sell them and ship? Yay! Okay, I'll have to check it out. Yeah, so I wonder if I'm missing comments. So if anybody was picking colors and I just didn't see you, I apologize. It's nothing personal. Look at that, like an eyeball looking at me right there. Alright, what are we getting here? Ooh. Like a little mushroom there. Very vibrant colors together. Look at the little green heart. Aw. Do we still see the little, I don't see the hamster anymore. Definitely seeing a mushroom right here. And then like, I don't know, like a flying something. It doesn't need blue. I wanted blue too, but to be honest, but it doesn't. It's funny. Like a fairy or an angel, yeah. Orangutan, yeah. Orangutan, sorry. Habit. I see this kind of looks like a little nose to me too, like, so that could be like a whole head. And there's lips right here. This kind of looks like, so, oh, is this what you, oh, a praying mantis. I was gonna say it looks more like an ant to me. I definitely, this profile is really starting to take shape too. Like there's an eye right here too. Chin. Oh, this looks like a bird, like with a beak, a red one. And there's like a little bear or something, like a little nose. Actually, I love when it has that kind of texture. Isn't that cool texture? Let's see if I can get it to... The green made some really cool little... It's electric. Oh, a woman on a swing. Is this like her head and kind of like she's got this cut, the dress is cut like this and her hair's blowing back? Oh, I see that. Oh, yeah. Oh, I totally see it. And then like the heart ahead. It feels so joyful too. I wonder if that's a smaller version of this head. Like the thoughts of, and then the angel or fairy or something behind. Woo! Woo, okay. Let's see. Where to begin? Where to begin? I kind of want to start with her. She looks fun. I want to swing. I tried to swing a while back and my equilibrium has changed, I think. I don't know what happened, but now I get dizzy on swings. It's kind of weird. Maybe I can get a nice reference. That would be great. It does have so much. I feel like I want to, let's zoom in on this. We'll start with the face, because that'll tell us about the rest of it. That's that dark brown, that chocolate is that was the number 7. You picked that, didn't you, Mary? All right, let me back out a little bit because I kind of want to figure out where the body is too before I start on the face. Hold on. So head, shoulder, maybe it's almost like a porch swing but yeah, definitely something coming up. Oh, that's awesome. I want Scooby-Doo stamps. And then here's an arm, maybe? Or is this the seat, the armrest kind of thing? Here. This is like the bottom half, like her knees would be here. Kind of like a dress, like you said, yeah. Oh, I almost feel like there's a bench seat that's like kind of curled up right here. Like a rope. Oh, yeah, this could be the other rope. All right, I think I understand it. So I just want to make sure I get the face in the right proportions for the rest of the body, but I think right now when I look at it, it looks like there's like this kind of eye looking off to the side here, and all right. So, and especially when they're small like this, they usually kind of take a different shape anyway, so we'll see where it goes. Hold on loosely. I don't know why I want to put a necklace here. Hi, Katie. Thanks. I think she's got like a little witch hat on. I'm gonna give her a little witch hat. Or a little hat. Doesn't have to be a witch hat. I see little bats up there too. Do you see the bats? Especially right here. Mm-hmm. Do I teach painting workshops? Sort of. I do art support groups, but I don't teach technical stuff. I support people in using art as a way to get to know themselves better and access their intuition and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, I have taught that kind of stuff, elements and principle type things, but it's not my favorite. There are other people that are better at it than I am, for sure. Let's see. I kind of just blend it in there. I like people to discover things for themselves. And I've done those like paint and sip kind of things, which I'm not a huge fan of, to be honest. But that's just my opinion. They're not bad. They're a nice entry point for people who never make art. But let's see. Give a little bench right here. There's the swing. I do intend to teach this, which is a very specific process. So I have a website called Paintgazing.com, and on there I will be offering paintgazing. I do private sessions, and which, by the way, everything's 50% off for Ko-fi supporters. If you want a private session, they're half off right now. But they're more like psychic readings, but I will be teaching paint gazing specifically. That's the underside of the swing, yeah? So now I just have to figure out where the rest of her body goes. And yeah, I think you're right, like let's see if I can. Yeah, I know. So what are you, Ellie, 16? I think, so I'll do an all ages. Yeah, so the art support groups are 18. But I can do an all ages. I just have to renew some like my finger clearance and stuff like that, I think. I don't know. I haven't done all ages online, but I'm assuming, I know in person I have to have a fingerprint clearance and stuff, so. Yeah, go to, so what's Ephemeral Wonders? What do you do? Who are you? I feel like, do I know you? No. You remind me of somebody. I was like, do I know you already? Let's see. So let's put this arm here, I think. Yeah. You did take a workshop of mine, really? Oh, cool. She is wearing a long dress, isn't she? Yeah, we'll have to talk if you wanna. Okay, so that goes down there. Oh, okay, yeah, the mini bake. Okay, cool. So you know. Yeah, so you attended an art support group. Awesome. So yeah, I'll be doing Paintgazing soon. Alright. Are you painting on book pages? That's awesome. Okay, so the knees. Alright, so this is like the kind of high waist. What's that called? What kind of dress is that? Where it's got that like high waisted. Is there a name for it? I feel like there's a name for it. Oh, I love that you made a mini book. That's good. Okay. I feel like her little tush has got to come out here somewhere. Right? And then that would put her leg here. And this is a knee. Empire waist. Oh, well, isn't that fancy? All right. Well, that's the kind of dress I see her in. Those are flattering. I wonder if these little red spots, are they patches? I think that'd be kind of fun. Like she's got some patchwork on her dress. She's sweet. I love it. Alright, so I just have to figure out, like, how her legs come off this, because I kind of see this as the bottom of the dress, but I also kind of feel like her leg, let's see, it would, like, here's her knee, so her, maybe I make the bottom kind of open here. Oh boy, here we go. I don't know. We can always paint over it, right? Here. I don't know why, but I feel like her foot had to go off the thing here. Oh, I missed the comment about the black witchy shoes, yeah. I wanted her to be barefoot. Where's the other leg coming out? I can't remember how feet, ankle, I don't know, something like that. I don't know. Actually, I think like this would be the bottom of her foot, and then I think I need a second foot. So her other knee is maybe here. Let's do a second foot here. Yeah? No, that's not right. It is a tiny, tiny brush, you're right. Okay, close enough. So it'll be interesting to reflect on what that's about, kind of obsessing over the one foot. Alright, so some... Mm-hmm. I don't know. Moving on. It's cute. All right, let's back up a little bit. Take in the big picture. So I'm also I'm really called to do a mushroom here. But I'm going to move over here because I see this nose and mouth and eye. So I'm going to come over here. Let's see if I can get looks a pretty solid profile. Slightly down. Yeah, there is I was thinking, it does look like a swamp creature now that you say it, but I was thinking it had wings or something like a fairy or an angel. I really love this little nose right here. And I really think it needs to have a wart. Because all beautiful witches have warts somewhere, right? Even if you can't see them. Even if they're just in our minds. Yeah, that's a bat up there. A little bat. A couple of them, I think. This little thing looks like it has 2 eyes and a nose. Faces are really common to see, so I often just kind of point them out and don't paint them, but this one really wanted to be painted. Let's see. I thought the eye would be closed, but I think actually intense. Yeah, they're just, it was already always there, right? I know. Hey, welcome. You're not late. Always on time. I know the green now looks like it's like some run out of her nose. Whatever. I kind of want to use that for her eye. Let's see what happens. Mm-hmm. Alicia, hi. I didn't know that was you commenting. You changed your profile picture, yeah? I suddenly just realized who you were. Sorry, it takes me a minute. Hi, Cece Bear. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here we go so far. I don't know why the colors just got weird, but it's okay. Alright, let me do the mushroom now. I don't know what that is. Did the lighting just get done? Oh yeah. Like ruins, like rock. I was seeing it kind of like rock or something. Yeah. Like copper patina or something. Yeah. Neat. Does it seem... Is the lighting okay for everybody else? Does it seem really dark? Hold on a second. I don't know why. It feels funny. Didn't change? Okay. It's my eyes. So let's do the mushroom. Mushroom. Yeah, so after I finish the mushroom, we're going to come over and figure out what this is all about. So I think we're all kind of seeing some different things. So think about what you think that is. No wrong answers. Oh, they're pushing her on a swing. I like that. Oh, like paint or tattoos, yeah. Intentional. That's an interesting shift from like patina that just happens over time to like an intentional marking. That's cool. Well, I wonder if it's related to the mushroom somehow, right? You know, it's funny because I see like there's like a, almost like a shadow. Like here. I really love the mushroom. I love you, mushroom. I love this little green heart, this accidental heart up here. It makes me happy. Now let's back up and look at it from a higher perspective for a second. Bats in the belfry. That's what we did in art support group, was make a painting that it was a body, it was a house in a body. And so it's like you had to put the rooms in different places in the body, and I kept thinking about that phrase, bats in the belfry. All right. Before I start, let's remind everybody everything's 50% off for Ko-fi supporters. That's my pop-up ad. All right. So what are we seeing here? I feel like there's like something like a skull or something in the chest area. When I first looked at it, I was thinking it was like a fairy or like wings, something with wings, like an angel. But now it just feels like a blob, like a swamp thing. But doesn't feel bad, you know? Oh, starfish. Interesting. What do you see a skull like? But I also see like just a cloudy sky or a sunset. Yeah, I mean, it could be like a landscape, like you said, for sure. Yeah, so if we like kind of take a bigger perspective and kind of step back, this could be the sun, right? And there's like a horizon or something. A fairy holding a flower. My first thing I think was fairy, but I do love the idea of a skull. Definitely a skull, Wicked Witch. Mm-hmm. It's, to me, like when I see the skull, but I also feel like I don't know if it's like wearing something with a skull on it, or because this to me is a head. And like when I feel into it, it feels like fun loving, like fairy energy, or like kind of mischievous, like silly. I don't know. So I'm gonna do the skull first because I don't know what it wants to. That's what wants to be seen, I guess, from my perspective. And lots of water added in. So there's like, it feels like shadow work, but like not taking itself too seriously. It really does feel like it's just kind of being silly. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, like pajamas with, yeah. Oh, baby cow. All right. But it's this part right here and it's tiny. Oh, I just shifted again. I can't tell. Okay. Let me snuggle this skull. Exactly. Totally. It's kind of funny. It's like, I love you, little skull. I don't know if those are angel wings or fairy wings, but they're kind of like raggedy. I think they're raggedy fairy wings or something. I don't know. I can't really tell. Other feathers. Everyone needs a hug, right? Yeah, for sure. Yes, that's like a little angel hugging a skull or something. Oh, I'm glad you're here, Jave. You didn't miss it. You're here. I don't know why she's holding the skull and smiling yet. Yeah, we don't know. I just found out she was. I'll figure it out later why. The why comes after the painting. Let's see. So I'm gonna zoom out a little bit here. I think she's got a bare foot over here too. No, that's not right. Oops. That didn't make it better. Oops, hold on. I got too much paint on my fingers. Alright. Feathers. We'll just make it all feathers. That's easier. Alright. The words brain dead popped into your mind? Huh. Yeah, it's kind of like where the where they're sitting. So it's interesting because I don't know who was saying, but I was feeling I wanted blue earlier, and someone else was saying that too. And I think I'm going to use this light blue as a precursor to the white. I'm not quite ready for the light yet. It's still like shadow. Oops. It feels optimistic too, and then I think there's lots of emotion here. I don't think any of it's bad, actually. Yeah, I don't get a bad vibe either. That's what I was saying. It felt silly. Like, I love you. I love you, Death. It's part of life, loving all the parts. Oh, it's interesting because I just found out that a family friend died. I didn't realize that this was representing death until just now. Could be. I really love the blue with that orange. Oh. You welcome to talk about yourself as much as you want, Ellie. I guess for everybody, express yourself as long as you're kind, and I don't care what you say. The more comments, the better, quite honestly. They're such a peaceful, I mean, they always kind of feel peaceful, right? But there's something extra peaceful about this one. Like at ease. I feel very at ease. Hey, Shannon, welcome. Yeah, the colors are really like, I'm gonna come over here. Let's look at mushy. Thank you for the roses. Thank you so much. The pink on the very bottom looks like the lips of some chick. She's under the green, brown rubble. Down here. Oh, this one. That looks like. Like, yeah, it's another person underneath. Alright, I'm gonna come in here. Back to our witch on a swing, witch on a swing. Well, thank you for the roses. Thank you. Well, good morning, Katie Lou. The wisdom of the witch is in embracing her inner child. Absolutely. Very well said, Wicked Witch. Thank you. Ooh, an eye in the sky above the witch. Nice. What size brush? 3. I don't know. I don't know what that means. It's a little one. It's about that big. That's my dirty fingernail. Yeah, it's that big. It's about the size of my fingerprints. Yeah, it's that big. Come on. Yeah, it's like 20 degrees here in Wisconsin. It's not horrible today. I'm gonna find out what the surprise is soon. Uh-oh. Cool. Speaking of inner child, my inner child is so happy, like making these little teeny tiny details. I just love it. It's so fun. Man, I want Qdoba now. What do you get from Qdoba, Ellie? Five, 7 inches. Oh gosh. Yeah. Kitty Lou's asking, anyone watch the Australian Open tennis? I don't. I'm not much of a sports spectator. I like playing sports, but I just don't really get into watching other people play it. I bore too easily. Oh yeah, your cousin plays for the NFL? That's cool. looks very cool. Alright, I want to use a color to knock back the background behind her. So, first person to pick a number, and it can't be 2, sorry, Ellie. The first number between 1 and 36. 7, thank you. Oh, it can't be 7 either because that's the color of her. So it has to be, because 7 is the brown of her dress and 2 is the background. That's funny. You picked the only other color that it couldn't be. Okay, so number 3. Yeah, all right, let's use that little orange. That's so funny. Let's see if it works. Probably not. It'll probably make a mess of things, but whatever. Okay. Not supposed to do that. Yeah, there's no, you don't get to pick the color. Sorry. You got to pick a number. Yeah, sometimes you do guess the color you want, which is really funny. Okay. There's like a little piece of something on my screen, and I keep looking at the painting like it's on there. I need to fix it. Yeah, there are bats up there, aren't there? Wow, 2,000 likes. Thank you so much. does. Oh, it's like they're looking at it. Yeah, like she's kind of looking at whatever that is. I had felt there was a bird or something up here too. Okay, whoops. Hi, Lexi. I saw your painting earlier. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. Holy cow. I tuned into your live for just a second and I was like, whoa, what is going on? It was very cool. Well, hello, Princess. How are you? I think we're on the same channel. Oh, a cat sitting on a branch. It does look like it's kind of leaning in. That's cute. All right, let's see what happens if I... put some highlights on her dress here. Oh, you know what it looks like? I think, okay. Yeah, I don't know. She's like a witch elf something. I don't know. Yeah, she's just her. But that green, that looks like, all right, let's see if I can do this. Because there's like, it's like this. It's like an apple or something. And then can I do a kind of a dragony something handing her an apple? I don't know. Let's see. I'm losing it a little bit here. All right, let's see. Little dragon friend. Oops, that's so small. There we go. How to read the comments when your device is on top of your work? Have I ever showed you my setup? It's just kind of hovering over what I'm working on. That's one of the reasons I work very small. Is that I can have it below my head, you know? The apple. Oh yeah, it's kind of like the snake of it. It's kind of a dragon. Green hearts are a sign from a loved one's past. Oh, that's beautiful. Dragon. It's kind of a dinosaur-y dragon. Oh, that's sweet. Oh, it is like the dragon's kind of wrapped through. Huh. What's interesting that you said, I don't know if you saw this over here, but it is like kind of embracing. So yeah, if green hearts are part of that. Shannon says, with the green heart, the angel holding the skull in the face seems to be grief themed. It could be. Peaceful. Oh, over here. Oh, yeah, it kind of is like running down. Looks like an eagle by your thumb. Turn it. Oh, I don't know where my thumb was. I'm sorry. I'm sure it did, though. Yeah, mushrooms play a role in that too. Lots of, yeah. Rejuvenate, like regeneration. Gonna break things down. For sure.
Download any videos
anytime. That scared me.
No interruptions.
Hey, no interruptions. That scared the crap out of me. I was like, who's talking to me? Who's in my house? You hope the bats aren't an omen for you? Well, if they are, it's not a bad omen, that's for sure. Whew. Alright, so the eagle eye, and I'm assuming that means beak, not leak. Is it leaking? Let's see. Is that the eye right there? This part right here, that's just a little cat butt. It's gonna have to become a cat. That's it, yeah. Hey, Barb. I know the cat just appeared, right? Along with this little red heart. But I feel like that's a shield. I feel like that's like it's got this strap on it that's got that you can hold it up. And it's interesting because I was just looking at this painting we did a while back, and it had a shield in it. So I'm actually going to start there before I do the cat. Wow, thank you so much for all the likes. You're wonderful. It is kind of like a backpack. Yeah, that's what I was saying. It had like these little straps attached to it or something, right? Like a buckle. There's so much going on in here, huh? I love it. All right, cat. Let's get the little cat butt. I see you. Oh, have fun shoveling, Shannon. Sorry. Oh, I hope I don't have to shovel. Oh my gosh, it's dark out. What is going on? All right, let's see. It moved. Ready to pounce, yeah. See a puppy with a red collar to the left of the cat. Aw. Thank you for sharing the live. I really appreciate that. Maine Coon are cool, yeah. My favorite kind of cat? I don't know. My cat, I had the coolest cat, and I think he was a gray tabby. I don't know what he was. I think he was a gray tabby. He looked like a gray tabby, but he was not like any other cat I ever met. He was super social and just weird. He was super weird. His name was Mickey. And he talked. He'd say, water. And he'd say, out. And he would wake me up in the middle of the night by taking out one claw and poking me in the forehead. He would sit up over me and raise his finger and go, boink, and wake me up, little fucker. But I loved him so much. Pardon my language if anybody's watching with kids, I apologize. He was awesome. And yeah, he was just like I don't know, I think he was just a gray tabby. I don't know. I got him when I lived in Arizona. And I remember it was raining really hard that day. And he was in a house with lots of other animals, cats. And he had feline leukemia. And so when I wanted to move, they were like, you can't take him on a plane. And I was a little kind of freaked out. And I got him tested again, and he didn't have it anymore. It was super weird. And then he lived for like 20 years. So that cat went to several different states with me. He was cool. It was amazing, yeah. It's like a little pink house, isn't it? That's actually the jaw of this face, I think. Whoops, what did I just do? I don't want any tips for going live, thank you. Alright, here we are so far. I want to look at that dragon a little better. So does anyone have tips for morning sickness that never goes away? Oof. Yeah, peppermint's good for nausea. I keep thinking I'm done and then I'm not, which is okay. Okay. It is done. Oh, I'm sorry you had morning sickness like that. That does not sound great. You know when I say I'm done, what that really means. Yeah, and just so anybody knows, if you book a session with me, I routinely block out like time before and after, like extra time after, because I can just talk, and if you're a talker and I'm a talker, and you know, so if you have to be somewhere immediately after your session, you might want to give yourself extra time. All right, let's see. Let's turn this down a little bit. All right, just a reminder. So I'm going to do the analysis part of it, but we're going to kind of take a little tour here. But just a reminder, if you want to enter to win this original painting, just click on my bio, go over there and become a Ko-fi member. Also, if you become a member or a supporter, today or on Saturdays, you can get half off your readings. So if you want a painting channeled just for you from your energy, you can get half off on that today. For support, and there's only 3 of them every Saturday because I can't really afford to do too many more than that. All right, so let's take a look at what we've got here. She is just joyful. Her swing feels like it's held up by bats. They're pulling the strings for her. That feels like a sculpture. Feels like it's like cement or something, or concrete. Very thoughtful. Very thought. And it reminds me of like stone and like weathered stone. Also looks kind of like steps going up to the eye. A lot of texture in that. A little cat. Mushroom. I love the patchwork on her dress. And a little shield down here. Yeah, I like the colors too. I really like the colors. And it's funny because I was feeling like, come on. And I delayed. I was like, all right, people pick more colors. And no one did. And so, but it's perfect. And I'm really glad that it's always the right colors though, right? So, okay. So I want to point a few things out before I start to divide it into quadrants and look at it that way. But I want to say that this little buckler here, this little shield, I feel like she dropped her shield and found her joy. Like she put the shield down and let herself enjoy the swing, this kind of like armor or whatever, dropped it, and she let herself kind of come up here and in return kind of gained the wisdom from her whimsical kind of, it's almost like the landscape itself, which is her own mind, gave her, here's a treat kind of thing. And then over on this side, I feel like, it's embracing death and, the release of whatever, physical death of ego, loving the process of kind of that, I want to say breaking down or whatever, like mushrooms do. They kind of like, like break things down, like regenerate, like, but it's the destruction process. It's the, that part of the creation process where you let go of things, even though this angel isn't really letting go of the skull, is embracing it, but is embracing that symbol of releasing the old. And there's just a peace here, even though there are, many, many tears shed over time, that kind of thing, that it's even kind of grown. And it's interesting to me too that this mushroom is next to the ear. So it's kind of like paying attention, listen. You're receiving lots of insights and guidance and reassurance and things like that. And this little spiral cat also looks to me like it's a snail. So it kind of goes along with, it's like a snail cat or something. And it seems to be looking at the shield. There's something about these two that are connected. So we've got, like spiral. There's a spiral there. So it's kind of coming back to the same place, but from a new perspective. But also, like, it's okay to drop your shields. Like, I feel like the cat is, everything in here is an aspect of self, right? So if I'm reading this for myself, this represents a part of me, this represents a part of me, you know what I mean? So this right here, but they are like, as if she's like a shapeshifter, that's her familiar or something. It's a part of her. So it's a part of you, will watch over the things that you need to let go of. As they decompose. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. Oh, thank you so much. Hi, Lola. Yeah, so let's look at left and right too. So if I divide this left and right, so this side represents what's going on internally. So it's just this joyful connecting with, and what did Wicked Witch said earlier? She said, the wise witch knows that you gain that wisdom through connecting with your inner child. And that's what this is. You let down your shield and connect with your inner child, that playfulness. And that's how you get that wisdom, really, too. I love, the animal instinct. Yeah. So this is all happening internally. What we're aware of is above this slide. So right in here, this is what we're aware of is going on. We're aware of our connection with our higher self and the rewards that we can find and the wisdom and the access to it. Definitely connected to the non-physical realm right here. even more so though below in our kind of subconscious, or what we're not quite aware of, or what's not active in our vibration yet. It's very connected. But I love that her feet are like dipping. It's like dip your toes into it. Like she's swinging into the non-physical realm as she goes out and touches her toes into it. Now what's happening on the external is just kind of, you may appear to others to be quite stoic and like made of stone and, kind of just observing. And so there might be also this kind of observing and putting things in the context of that, navigating a lot of stuff. Right in the middle, though, is that kind of decomposing, transmuting energy kind of thing happening. And because the swing, this is over in the external experience, they're held by these bats navigating the darkness. That playfulness, like it's supported and not just stagnant in one place either, because they're kind of moving around. They're very fluid and moving, dynamic. Cece says she's an Aquarius, huh? Yeah, maybe. I think that's where we're at. Yeah, lots of water and movement. I love this down here. This green, I just love all that texture coming through. And so, yeah, so above and below, this is what we're aware of. This is what's active, what's happening right now, and this is what's coming into awareness. And the eye is like right on the horizon. And I love that it's an open eye, because I really thought it was going to be like, the eye is like right on the horizon. And I love that it's an open eye, because I really thought it was going to be like introspective, but I think we're kind of shifting out of hermit mode a little bit and kind of starting to open our eyes to, okay, so let me pay attention to what other people are doing now that I got myself centered and reconnected. I love her expression. She looks like she's just having a blast. It does. It is like this safe, protected. It's safe to safe to drop your shields. And this is like the center, like the prefrontal cortex, like your rational thinking, even though it's very whimsical and stuff like that. It's like creative and resilient and playful. You see the lips down here? Yeah, 'tis the season for lots of emotional, watery thing. I love this, how the dragon kind of has this movement through. It's like the whole environment is kind of reaching out. The green and brown next to her nose is like moss, like over here. It's like neat. Oh, look, there's another little heart. Huh. Isn't that cute? That's one thing I love about these. And if you've ever had a painting done and then when I send it to you, I always tell people to sit with it for a while and just kind of look, because you'll find new things. And the buckle too, so it's interesting because squares tend to represent like foundation or stability, stuff like that. So kind of feeling safe enough to drop that protective stance around stability and that kind of feeling. I do like this, how this looks like a little tent. And triangles being like the symbol of the visionary, vision and goals and dreams. Yeah. Anybody have any questions about anything or want to share your ideas? Wow, thank you for all the likes. It's amazing. Well, thank you, Lydia. It's sweet. I absolutely love it. I love the frog with the flowing hair, Ellie. Thanks, Katie. Oh, you missed the giveaway? It was... Excuse me. As soon as I see it, I forget it. Angela Lopez. That's the winner for this week. Yeah, so if anybody wants a chance to win this one, you can just become a Ko-fi member, and then all Ko-fi members, if you're already a member, you have till the end of the day to redeem 50% off anything in the Ko-fi shop. So that's lots of originals, so that's painted pendants and all kinds of things. There is like a freedom, I agree. Yeah. Very hopeful. Yep, I agree with you too. Hopeful, freedom. There's so much joy, and this is all, so much is happening over here internally, and then it's just like, but there's kind of a grin, like, this side feels very hopeful to me, kind of like, ooh, like she's looking at something, like, oh, future looks bright, because I'm connected to my inner child, and so much good. Yeah, just that kind of lose yourself in the moment, playful peace and joy you get in childhood. Yes. I agree with you. Yeah. So it's like pensive and then joyful, free and happy. Do you think that it's like a memory, or do you think that it's funny because I thought for a second, I'm like, oh, it's like remembering, but they're like fully grown. Oh, is it time, Lulu? Well, it's time to let the dog out. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And thank you for sending all the likes and all the gifts and all the good stuff. And if you want to go check out all the prints from previous weeks, or if you want to enter the giveaway, all that stuff's in my bio. You can go there, and I'll have a replay. If you missed the beginning part of it, the replay will be on my YouTube channel. I don't edit anything, I just throw it on there, so you can fast forward through stuff if it gets boring. But I'll also do a time lapse so you can watch how it evolved and everything. And of course, go get your 50% off if you're a member. All right. Have a wonderful weekend and a week ahead. Play with your inner child. Go swing. Take care. Bye.